Welcome back to Talk Property to Me. My name is Brad East.
I'm Aaron Downie, and today we're going to be discussing a new Albanese government release of 25,000 new homes across New South Wales.
Yep, so what I can see, it's part of the Labor government's pledge for new homes. So I think it's their 32 billion homes plan for Australia.
I thought you were about to say pledge for re-election.
Yeah, mate, I think, honestly, my first opinion on this, it's like they forgot to do their homework and they've just slapped this together last night before releasing it today.
Yeah, it's a pretty disappointing article.
So I think what we will do in this episode is run through what this proposal is for the 25,000 more homes across New South Wales, what it actually means and what they're doing, and then give you our opinion on these. So essentially what they're trying to do is create infrastructure that's going to allow 25,000 new homes to be built across the state in New South Wales. It's going to cost $182 million. And from what I can see, it's going to be spaced over a 5-year period.
Yeah. And that's the thing. The headline is Albanese government delivering 25,000 more homes. But it's 182 million, which is just directed to infrastructure. It's not
Correct.
Houses at all.
They're not actually building the homes.
No.
So when you look at it, the funding's going to be used for roads, sewerage and water. I thought that's why we paid rates. You know what I mean? Like, isn't that why we pay rates? So that we can have infrastructure such as roads, sewerage and water?
Yeah.
It doesn't seem like they've come out with any groundbreaking policies or groundbreaking actions to sort of help the housing shortage that we've got. We've got immigration levels at the moment that are sitting, about 450, 500,000?
Yeah, 400,000 down
per year.
from 500,000 last year.
Per year. So this is, from what I'm reading, this is over a 5-year period.
Yeah.
It's going to allow 5,000 homes out of
Each year over
5 years, so 25 in total. So what are we going to do about the 495,000 extra people?
Even if we go based on the benchmark of where the government wants the net migration to be at 250,000, Australia has a household makeup of around 2.5 people per household now.
Yep.
So you need 100,000 homes per year just to keep up with net migration or population.
Which we're nowhere near.
This is 5% of what they need.
You know, call me silly, but I think policies such as a centralised building approval hub, some of these things that had been proposed that just disappeared. So at the moment, one of the biggest things holding back building approvals is local councils.
Yeah.
These local councils are absolutely, they got one lady sitting there looking at it. Cheryl's off today, so it's gone to Bob.
Yeah. I think there's a shortage of labour as well, which is another problem in itself.
And when we look back as to why some of these developments are not going through, it is, shortage of labour. And guess where all the labour is?
Yeah.
Doing government infrastructure work.
Yeah.
And guess what government spending's doing to the economy at the moment? Creating inflation issues. So their response to inflation issues and housing shortage is, let's spend $182 billion or $1 million, on more shit.
Yeah.
That's going to give us 25,000 homes. So let's run through each of these things. So they're going to spend $13 million constructing a new road and intersection for an 86-metre bridge on Pelican Road in Schofields, which will enable 235 homes. There's going to be...
I'm interested in their wording there, which will enable.
Yes, they're not doing
Enable
anything.
who?
Yeah,
what locals to build them? Or?
We're building a road that was required and we're going to link it back to some potential homes in the future. So $45 million to deliver water and sewer infrastructure in Kempsey, include new water treatment plans to unlock, I like the terminology, unlock.
Yeah.
It's like they're
already built. You just turn up and unlock them.
It's like a mission on one of those games. Once you build the bridge, it unlocks 430 homes, which is brilliant. I like his thing here. So that's $45 million for 430 homes in Kempsey. All you have to do is build a water treatment plant, unlocks them. $27.2 million to deliver stage 2 of another wastewater treatment plant. These just seem like things that should be getting built anyway. $10 million to enable civil infrastructure for Lake Wyandgan, including stormwater, drainage and earthworks. which could enable 500 homes. Could.
I mean, they all seem regional. It's like they're pumping money into regional areas to take the pressure off.
That is, but regional and Parramatta.
Yeah.
So $45 million to construct a new, again, another sewer and wastewater treatment plant in Stewart's Point, Grassy Head, Fisherman's Reach, which will give them 40 homes. So let's look at that again.
Insignificant.
$45 million for a water treatment plant, and they're linking that back to 40 homes. Let that sink in.
I mean, there's a direct impact to the residents that are already there.
Correct.
But additional 40 homes.
But don't link it back
Why
to
would
the
you
40
mention
homes.
that? It's
And they're building shit that should already be built. Tick. Don't worry about the 40 homes that it might enable. $4 million to construct four-legged
four-legged roundabout on Princess Highway.
Okay. Four-legged.
An extension of water and sewer infrastructure, which will enable 45 homes. Again, it's just a roundabout and sewer infrastructure for 45 homes.
Yeah, I would argue that it should be there, part of the plan, just to give us shit for our taxes and our, rates.
The next one's slightly better. $22.1 million road and intersection and utility upgrade for Bellberg North, which is Cessnock, to enable 900 homes.
It's better.
Enable, is that like rezoning of land to increase density, or?
Yeah, I'd say the developers, in a lot of these cases, the developers are not able to zone or get those DAs through because of
the lack of infrastructure.
Yeah. But the lack of infrastructure, don't pat yourself on the back by creating that infrastructure.
Yeah.
That should already be a thing.
Yeah, 100%.
This is a reason, these are part of the reasons why we have low building approvals. It's because of lack of infrastructure.
Yeah.
That should have been done years ago. But now that they're doing it, they expect a pat on the back because it's going to possibly enable new buildings.
Yeah.
So the last one is $6.2 million to construct an active transport tunnel under Old Canterbury Road, Dulwich Hill, connecting current two unconnected sites. Old Canterbury Road. So this one's probably the best bang for buck. So it's $6.2 million and it's 7,500 new homes.
Yeah. And again, if we look at that, look at those numbers. They're saying 25,000 homes, 7,800 of them is just Sydney's inner west.
Yes.
And then where was the other one for Parramatta?
It's in here somewhere. So yeah, I think there was another.
So there was
housing.
14,700 homes will be unlocked in Parramatta with a $10.1 million investment in the city's Civic Link project.
Yeah,
so you've got more than 60% of this housing release that they're delivering just in Sydney, in two locations, Dulwich Hill and Parramatta.
Yep. And then they've thrown in, as I said, it seems like they've forgotten to do their homework. That's why they've gone, oh no, we're doing this thing over in regional New South Wales that's going to give us 40 homes. Yeah.
Crazy.
So that's a bit of our take on it. Personally, I think it's just something they've thrown together to make it appear like they're doing a lot for the housing industry at the moment. There's a lot more that could be done. It's good that they are going to do some stuff, but I think this stuff should be just a no-brainer anyway. Don't try and link it back to all these new homes you're going to do.
Yeah.
25,000 over 5 years, 5,000 a year.
It's insignificant.
We need an extra 100,000 per year.
I mean, to give context to all the listeners, it's part of the government's $32 billion plan for homes, or Australian plan they call it, which is a national target of building 1.2 million new well-located homes over 5 years. A lot of and I've read into this before, there's a lot going into social complexes, and this 25,000 is just, it's a drop in the ocean.
It is. Yeah. I think what annoyed me about it was the headline. It was the biggest housing policy in years. Like, I think that's what annoyed me most about the article this morning that came out, was Albanese government's biggest housing reform in years. And all they're doing is literally building infrastructure.
Yeah.
That's not housing reform.
It's not actual development. No. We were reading a bit on development before, weren't we, Brad?
Yeah, so just off the top of my head, when we put this in comparison to what's going to happen this year by some of the the private developers. So Stockland is releasing 28,000 new blocks this year.
Yeah. That's just
28,000.
Stockland.
That's Stockland, and that's this year.
And then you've got Melrose Park redevelopment in Sydney, which is over 5 stages, which will end up being 11,000 dwellings. You've got another Southport development in the Gold Coast, which is another 15,000 dwellings. And Guildford Hill Satellite City near Murray's Bridge in South Australia, which is going to deliver 44,000 new homes.
Yeah. So this just seems like a drop in the ocean compared to what some of the private developers are actually doing.
Yeah.
So I'd love to hear what everyone's thoughts are on this. Is it a good policy? Are we overreacting?
And even local developments of people across Australia. Tell us where, what's happening in the local area, and we can look into these things and pull them apart as well.
Yeah, and if you've got suggestions on how you think you might help with the housing crisis at the moment, throw them in the comments. We'd love to hear from you. Thank you.
See you in the next one.